What's going on, traders, and welcome to the first ever episode of Trending Stock Analysis. Pretty much, I want to give a thank you to iSense and D Izzy, or Dizzy, however you want to pronounce that, for pretty much speaking up. I'm sure many others were thinking the same thing, but I'm going to be doing an analysis on some stocks that you guys mentioned in the comments section. If you want to see something analyzed in next week's video, you can certainly let me know on Friday or after some of the week has unfolded and you have some ideas. Let me know in the comments section and we can keep this up. As long as there's enough things to analyze, the video will keep coming out. So we're going to start off with FSLY, which was recommended by our friend iSense. So what we're going to do is just map out some quick technical analysis. We're going to do that for everything on the list here. There's 10 stocks. We'll do 10 a week just to keep it at a manageable level. So this one looks relatively new. There's not a lot of trading history here. Right off the bat, there's clear resistance up here around 35.25, 35 whole dollar. Somewhere around 35 whole dollar. You can see the all-time high is at 35.25. So clear resistance here. Again, as we talked about in the weekly watch list, as the market is gapping up higher, what is this one doing? It's sort of consolidating, but that's completely fine considering we had this nice large swing to the upside. So lots of attention probably on this one, considering that we've gone from a low of 14 all the way up to 35. That's over 100% move there. So that's something to keep in mind and sort of keep in the back of your head. Made a large move to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised to see some consolidation here after going almost 100%. If we do see another leg to the upside, the key break is right around $35 and then $35.25 to really get us into blue sky territories. Some easy points of support on the downside. Our high here should offer some bit of support on any move down. There's a set of lows somewhere in this general vicinity. That's at $27.89. And then if we come further down, I would call this one in here at $18, almost $19, a nice spot for support. Also, you can see touch, a couple touches in here, nice little bounce, and then once we broke above, it was off to the races. So that's a quick one on FSLY. We'll move on to CRWD. Alrighty, CRWD, very little trading history here again. So recent IPOs seems to be the trend of what we're looking at here. So if you guys want to see other things, certainly let me know down below in the comments section. But for now, we'll just do a quick markup. Nice support trend line that sort of was like that, but now it's kind of more like that. You can see we have some touches here, a touch here, and now once we fell below, we got the back test and we are rejected off of it. So what I would target, it's sort of already happened, but if we get our price level tool back, you can see the gap sort of fills to the high of this candle here at $74 essentially. So I would look for a quick move back down to 74 and see what happens there. This again should act as some sort of support on the gap fill. We have clear resistance up here at 101.88, so we'll mark that one in. It looks like there's some more resistance in this general area here at 94.50-ish, I would call it. So just somewhere in that general area, you can see some wicks, some tops of candles. I'm going to get rid of that line I just accidentally drew. But then some clear support back here, which is also interesting to note that it's also on the backside of this sort of retest of the support trend line. You can see our moving averages haven't even developed yet. That's how new these stocks are. Look at the red volume on Friday. To me, that indicates more selling wants to come. The gap fill is probably more than likely to the high of this candle. Anything lower than that, we could point out this level in here looks like a bit of support. That's at 68.80. Anything lower than that, there are some pretty good lows in this area around 61.78. So keep that in mind on CRWD. Beyond Meat is just sort of beyond me, if you will, excuse the pun. Sort of like a TLRY, just making a ridiculous move from 45 all the way to 300. It's just outrageous. So I'm not surprised to see a massive pullback off of that level and some consolidation, probably a move lower. We are below our 50 SMA. You can see we had a nice inverted hammer here, which sort of started and sprung this move lower. If we draw in a support trend line, we can look at something that's sort of like, let's see what we get. That's sort of already been violated and no good. If we look at something like this, certainly could be in the books for a move lower to the trend line and then a bounce. Again, depends on what the market's doing, but considering the market is sort of roaring up right now and this one's just dribbling lower, again, not surprised after a parabolic move to the upside, but I would target the low end of this support trend line. If that breaks, we're looking at a gap fill to whatever this high is. This set of highs somewhere in here, right around 107.02. That's quite a ways down below. We have resistance overhead here at 172. Resistance up here around 182, and then obviously our all-time high will mark in. Some supports below us. Again, this trend line, but the doubled bottom here you can see is sort of support there at 136.93. Hubs, wow, look at this one. This one looks like a beast, just completely trending up. Very clear, easy to see. If we zoom into some more recent price action, you can see we're sort of pulling back, but in the overall context of things, that's not really that surprising considering that the trend has just been so strong in the upwards direction. Let's zoom in a little bit more. There we go. So clear resistance up here at 207, some resistance in this area here. Tons of support if you look at this area in here at 159.28. So I'd say if prices ever did get back down there, that's certainly a buy. That would be a violation of our 50 SMA and 200 SMA, however, so keep that in mind. You want to make sure you're getting in while the trend is still up. I think the overall trend definitely still is if you remember that initial look at the overall chart there. Some supports closer down below us, something in here you could consider support. That's right around 173. Maybe a quick bounce there, quick bounce at our 50 SMA if that doesn't get taken out this week. Resistances, again, are mapped out. This one sort of has to get cleared first. 197.18, as you can see here, sort of immediate rejection. But if we get back above that, I'd target the all-time high. Again, another monster here. Look at this one. Clear uptrend. Very strong. Whoever recommended these, I hope you've been in them for a very long time and have been reaping the benefits of these nice trends here. However you found them, very impressive. You can see if we draw a trend line in, we get something like that. We're sort of at that level now, so depending on what happens will be very telling whether or not we see a bounce here or a collapse of the trend line. Clear resistance up here at 147.67. Very clear support. If my computer doesn't freeze, there we go. Down here at 131. Anything lower, this is just beautiful. Look how easy this is to do. Get one at 123. 115. You want to see all these levels act as support if we get back down into them, but it would be nicer to see the support trend line hold up and a move back up to the all-time high here at 149. Hold, and then a break above and a breakout above this 147 set. Breakout above 149 puts us in blue sky territory. I'd target 150 after that. 155, whole and half dollars on the way up. Pins, again, very short term trading history, sort of choppy. It's just sideways overall. Haven't really made a giant stride in one direction or another. Again, I think the gap fill is sort of more than ready to happen. If we look at the high of that candle before the big gap up, we're looking at 29.12. I think that happens if we give up the 50 SMA come Monday, Tuesday, early in the week. The trend is quite clearly down in the very, very recent. You can see very, very big, strong selling days, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, pretty much all of last week. So nasty week there for pins. We want to see any sort of retest of this 3160 act as resistance on the back test of that support, if that makes any sense. Resistance up here at 36. We have that level mapped out. Some support sort of down here in this area. We'll play it safe on the low side, call it 25.50 just about based on the set of lows in here. Our resistance, I guess we'll draw it in for now. We have this level up here at 29.76 as well. This sort of, not too relevant considering we just sort of chopped through it now. So pins. Shopify has just been, again, another monster ever since really kicking off 2018. Boom. Crazy move in the upwards direction. Hundreds of percents to be had there. If we zoom into some more recent price history, you can see we're sort of getting a little bit of a pullback, which might present a pretty good buying opportunity. You can see almost every time it's pulled back, it's just been a nice buying opportunity, good opportunity to get in for the next leg up. So whether or not you want to take that as a buy or not, I'd want to see this level in here hold. On Monday, I wouldn't really want to see a dip below that. That's sort of my line in the sand, if you will, for getting in. All-time high resistance there. Support, you can see how that acted. That was pretty nice. You can see we had highs in here. Move, pull back right to those highs and already started a nice little bounce. But again, we do want to see this level hold first. Anything lower than that, this looks like a very important level to me at 338, just based on some of these highs and then these highs. So that looks good there. But again, the trend is so strong up, any sort of pullback to me would be buyable. And then if we get a violation of this 50 SMA, then we would start to think about, okay, maybe this is the top. And VCR, very similar, nice move here, pull back into the 200 SMA on the daily, and then just monster move after that. Zoom in a little bit closer. You can see we had a double top almost at $100 before we got rejected and turned around for this pullback. It's not really a rejection, rather just a pullback. Again, if we keep in mind the overall context of everything, just an absolute bullish move here. We are seeing a pullback into this sort of support zone. So whether or not this hammer here on Thursday was the bottom, if you will, of the pullback, who knows? But this would certainly be a great buying opportunity around 80.50. We have this sort of area in here that you might want to pay attention to if it does get back down into there. Maybe look for a violation of that 83 to the 80. And resistance on the upside, we're sort of, yeah, I'd say this one's sort of mapped out for us. Again, that 50 SMA is going to start playing a role. We do want to see a bounce back up to that 100 and all-time high. All right, these last three have been just my picks. KO has been on a roar also. You can see it's just been trending up, following this trend line nicely. Let me get rid of it. Doesn't really hold up. All-time high resistance here at 55.92. Nice back test of this area in here. You can see, boom, we got the pullback right to there. The tail formed, and I would be targeting this all-time high here on this upcoming week. Let's see what else. That's sort of it, really. You can see this is a very important level here at 52. And lastly, WM Waste Management, a very, very bullish stock in my opinion for a very long time. It has been, but making an exceptional move over the course of this year. If we zoom in, you can just see how nicely it's been trading. Some things I do want to point out here is we are seeing a bit of a rising wedge. If we draw in some trend lines, we get something like that and something like that. So it's a rising wedge, which is ultimately a bearish pattern. Shows the bulls running out of strength and the bears starting to gain strength. So keep that in mind. We do have some price levels to draw in. We have our all-time high up here at 121. The next one below that there. So those are going to act as resistance on the way back up, but supports below us, we have 115 and this level here at 113. But again, keep in mind the rising wedge for now. It looks like it's been respecting it quite nicely. Lows, highs, pulling back and just sort of tightening into this range. It'll be really telling to see if it breaks out one way or another. Alrighty, so that's going to wrap up the first ever episode of Trending Stock Analysis. If you enjoyed it, let me know down below in the comments section. If you want to see me add anything to this list, let me know down below in the comments section. And as always, give the video a thumbs up so I know I should keep making them. Hit the subscribe button. Again, all this support shows me that you are interested in me making these videos, and I will continue that. So with that, I wish you a green trading week.